Chapter 3. An Amazing Gift. Warren Worthington Sr. stood outside his Alcatraz laboratories. Dr. Rao was behind him, and reporters and TV cameras were all around them. Mutants are people just like us. They are ill. Today, I am proud to announce the answer to the mutant problem. He held up a small bottle. Finally, we have a cure. Everyone in Xavier's office was silent after they heard this announcement. Their world was never going to be the same again. "Who would want this cure?" asked Storm angrily. "Just to be accepted by others." "It isn't so easy for all of us to be accepted," said McCoy, looking down at his blue, hairy hands. "Maybe this was the government's idea," said Logan. "The government had nothing to do with this," said McCoy. "I've heard that before," said Logan. Suddenly, an excited voice spoke from the door. "Is it true? They can cure us?" It was Rogue. "Yes, Rogue," said Xavier. "It appears to be true." "No, Professor," said Storm angrily. "They can't cure us because there's nothing wrong with you, or with any of us." It was night in the city, and lots of people were going into an old church. A sign outside the door said, "Mutant Action Meeting." At the bottom of the sign it said, "No humans allowed." Inside, lots of mutants were listening to a man at the front of the church. "We just have to speak to the right people," he was saying. "We have to talk to the government about this." "The government is trying to kill us," shouted a young mutant angrily. He was standing with a group of other young mutants. None of them wanted a cure. They were proud to be mutants. "We're free to choose the cure or not," said the man at the front. "Nobody is talking about killing mutants." "No one ever talks about it," shouted a deep voice from the back of the church. "They just do it." Everybody turned to see Magneto. A young man was with him, Pyro. He had been a student at Xavier's school before he joined Magneto. "And then, one night they come for you," continued Magneto. "That's when you realize. While you were having meetings, they were starting to kill." The church was silent. Everyone looked at Magneto. "Believe me," he continued, "they will make us take this cure. The only question is, who will you stand with? The humans or us?" As Magneto left the church, the group of angry young mutants stopped him. "That's big talk for an old man," said one of them. Pyro pushed the young mutant back. "Do you know who you're talking to?" "Do you?" replied the young man, whose mutant name was Quill. Immediately, long black needles appeared from every part of his body. Magneto smiled at the young mutants. They were his kind of people. He turned to a young woman from the group called Callisto. "And what can you do?" Suddenly, she moved so fast that he couldn't really see her. One moment she was a few meters away. The next moment she was right in front of him. "I can do that and more," she said, and turned to Pyro. "I know that you can control fire. And you can control metal," she said to Magneto. "I know that there are 87 mutants in here. You two are the only ones who are more powerful than Class 3. Magneto smiled. "So you can feel other mutants and their powers. Could you find one for me?" He was thinking of Mystique. Dr. Rao led Hank McCoy through the Worthington Laboratories building on Alcatraz. How long will you keep the boy here? McCoy asked. He was there to find out more about the cure. A little longer, Rao answered. Soon we'll be able to make the cure without him. They stepped into a bright white room with toys and books on the floor. A 12-year-old boy sat playing a video game. I'd like you to meet someone, said Dr. Rao. Leach looked up nervously. Hello there. My name is Hank McCoy. He held out his hand. But as it came closer to Leach, something happened. The blue hair and colour disappeared. For the first time in his life, McCoy had a normal human hand. I'm sorry, said Leach. It was hard for McCoy to find the words. It's okay. As McCoy moved his hand away from Leach, the blue hair and colour came back. You have an amazing gift, he said to the boy.